Hello and welcome. I am the DM and this is my corner. Today we've got something very special from Wizards of the Coast. Uh, I'm gonna try to hold myself back. I haven't read a lot of what this announcement is, but I've read enough to know that it's spicy. It is spicy. Um, they're trying. They aren't succeeding. Now, to preface all this, Wizards is yet again using someone else as their scapegoat. Um, Kyle Brink, as I am aware, has only been on the project for about 3 months or something like that. He hasn't been on it for very long, so no shade at Kyle, nor any shade at the employees of Wizards of the Coast. Um, all shade towards the executives because they're the ones making the decisions. Um, so let's read this, shall we? For 20 years, thousands of creators have helped grow the TTRPG community using a shared set of game mechanics that are the foundation for their unique worlds and other creations. We don't want to change, and we've heard loud and clear that neither do you. I just want to stop all this right here with this first sentence. This is point blank basically what the community has said. They're not saying anything new. They're all this is them repeating what we have said. Okay. In my last video, I told y'all to pay very close attention to the specific things that they were saying they weren't going to do. I was actually in the middle of watching a Philip DeFranco show when I saw that this had come out. Um, so just keep that in mind as we continue. So we're doing two things. Now, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to pull up what they were saying last time. Okay, so I found the last two updates that they did. This was the one that I covered. The one that came after this I didn't cover because I just felt like it wasn't really needed. So, on here, what they say is that the next OGL will contain provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build, and specify that it only covers, or that it covers only content for TTRPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live stream, cosplay, VTT uses, etc., will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, and then over here they say VTT content. This is a part of any changes to the OGL will have no impact on at least these creative efforts. VTT content. Any updates to the OGL will still allow any creator to publish content on VTTs and will still allow VTT publishers to use OGL content on their platform. Keep that in mind. Okay. So, in here, it says we are doing two things. We're giving the core D&D mechanics to the community through Creative Commons license, which means that they are fully in your hands. Here's the thing. This means nothing. This means nothing at all. They were already in your hands. Okay, you. I forget the exact wording that was used, but the mechanics effectively can't be copyrighted, or something to that effect. Legal Eagle is who I'm quoting here. But this first thing doesn't matter. All of the mechanics that are part of D&D you could already use freely without any license. Two, if you want to use quintessentially D&D content from the SRD, such as Owlbears and Magic Missile, OGL 1.2 will provide you a perpetual, irrevocable license to do so. So, what they're saying here is that for everything that is specifically Dungeons and Dragons, so like a beholder, a a Balron, a Illithid, anything like that. Um, the Fireball spell specifically, any of the spells that have been released. This will give you, and this is very, very key wording, and I love them for doing this, a perpetual, irrevocable license to do so. This is what they needed to say. This, ah, yes, thank you. This is them listening. I want that to be clear. This is them listening. They're going to have it stated in the wording that it is a perpetual, irrevocable license. This makes me so happy to see them say this. It really does. Thank you. This is what we wanted. This is what they needed to put in it, and this is what we told them. This is what lawyers told them. And they're listening. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. This is the thing that needs to be paid attention to out of these two things. Creative Commons is a nonprofit dedicated to sharing knowledge, and it developed a set of licenses to let creators do that. The Creative Commons license we picked lets us give everyone those core mechanics forever. Because we don't control the license, releasing the D&D core rules under the Creative Commons will be a decision we can never change. Okay. So, truth be told, this is still good. This is still very important. It means something very specific things, such as advantage and disadvantage, the inspiration, those very specific things. Effectively, this is just them being like, you don't have to worry about us trying to take that. It's them trying to cover all of their bases and ensuring that the us as the community understand that no, you're allowed to do this, and we cannot say anything else. And by putting our creative license or Creative Commons, as they say, they can never change that. As soon as it goes up there, it is forever there. They can never reverse that. They would essentially have to create an entirely new set of rules that are completely different from these in order to change them. So that's good. Good. A round of applause. Let's talk OGL 1.2. The important ways it's different from OGL 1.0A, which is what we are currently using for 5th edition, as I understand it. First, it allows us to address hateful content. Okay, I don't understand how they couldn't do that before, but sure. Second, it only applies to published TTRPG content, including on VTTs. Third, this license specifically includes the word irrevocable. That is huge. That cannot be understated enough, or overstated enough. The word irrevocable, especially in terms of law, is massive. Massive. What's not in there? That's a good thing to look for. There's no royalty payment, no financial reporting, no license back, no registration, no distinction between commercial and non commercial. Nothing will impact any content you have already published under OGL 1.0A. That will always be under licensed. That will always be licensed under OGL 1.0A. Your stuff is your stuff. Good. Good. This. I can't help but smile. This makes me happy. I'm glad. Thank you. We're getting some communication. We're getting transparency. I love that. Thank you. Finally. And what's more is we're not just getting the transparency, we're getting proper feedback. They're actually listening to us and responding directly to the things we have denounced them for. Uh, there's a link at the end of this note where you can download a PDF of the proposed OGL 1.2. Well, I look forward to looking at that, along with supporting documents for your review and feedback. Before you scroll down and grab it, let me give you more details on what is in there. Now, real quick, I want to address something before we get into this. D&D Shorts had a video that was supposed to come out today. I'm not sure if it's going to. That's why I'm doing this now, plus this. There's been I don't really know what to call it at this point. We're hearing two sides of the argument that both are supported. So they both seem truthful and both sides are verified, but both sides run counter to the other. So some of that stuff is up in the air. Any kind of that, anything related to that, especially because it's so up in the air right now, I'm hoping they try to address it in here. I don't know if they do, but hopefully they do. Protecting D&D's inclusive play experience. As I said above, content more clearly associated with D&D, like the classes, spells, and monsters, is what falls under the OGL. You'll see that OGL 1.2 lets us act when offensive or hurtful content is published under the covered D&D stuff. We want an inclusive, safe play experience for everyone. This is deeply important to us, and OGL 1.0a didn't give us any ability to ensure that. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that there's something within OGL 1.0a that just doesn't allow them to. Now, one consequence of this is that any of that hateful or offensive content that is published under 1.0a, they still can't do anything about, and there's no changing that. But it does mean that all of our content that was released under it is also safe from anything, and it also means, personally, if all this is true and what they're saying is they really can't actually do anything about that, then I'm fine with this. I would rather this. I would rather them update it to this, and just say we're going to leave that all alone, and we're still going to leave anything you do publish now, but under this new stuff, you're not going to be able to publish the hurtful or offensive content. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that because it leaves our stuff under 1.0 alone. TT RPGs and VTTs. OGL 1.2 will only apply to TTRPG content, whether published as books, as electronic publications, or on virtual tabletops. Nobody needs to worry or wonder if it applies to anything else. It doesn't. Okay, so the 1.2 only applies effectively to the content that D&D was originally aimed for, and a small addition being electronical devices because of the times. They can't cut out their online content, otherwise they lose out on huge amounts of sales. It probably dwarfs their physical sales, I would imagine, at this point. But this means that OGL 1.2 will allow VTTs to do the exact same thing we do. That's what that means, as far as I'm aware. Deauthorizing OGL 1.0a. We know this is a big concern. The Creative Commons license and the open terms of 1.2 are intended to help with that. One key reason why we have to deauthorize. One reason why we have to deauthorize. We can't use the protective options in 1.2 if someone can just choose to publish harmful, discriminatory, or illegal content under 1.0a. And again, any content you have already published under OGL 1.0a will still always be licensed under OGL 1.0a. So that means that you can no longer use publish content under 1.0a, but any content you have published under it will still be licensed under it, and it will not be licensed under 1.2. That's good. Very limited license changes allowed. Only two sections can be changed once OGL 1.2 is live. The first is how you cite wizards in your work and how we can contact each other. We do not know what the future holds and what technologies we will use to communicate with each other, so we thought these two sections needed to be future proofed. I think that's fine. Uh, Changing how you might have to cite wizards with your stuff and how you have to contact them, that's, I feel like that's fine. For completeness, let's sum up what else is in OGL 1.2 in supporting documents. Virtual tabletop policy. We will continue to support VTT usage for both OGL content or OGL creators and VTT operators. The VTT policy spells this out. Ownership disputes. You own your content. You don't give wizards any license back, and for any ownership disputes, you can sue for breach of contract. Ooh, okay. I'm glad they spell that out here and they don't just leave it to the draft. I'm glad. That's good. That means that they're outright telling you that if Wizards tries to take and use any of your content, you have the outright authority to legally sue them for breach of contract. That is good. That is really, really good. No hateful content or conduct. If you include harmful, discriminatory, or illegal content or engage in that conduct publicly, we can terminate your OGL 1.2 license to our content. Good. Totally support this. 100% I support this. That's fine by me. Creator product badge. You'll have the option to include a badge on your OGL works. Once we get your feedback on the badge, we'll create a guide on how to use and display it. Okay? Overall, what we're going for here is giving good faith creators the same level of freedom or greater for the things in Creative Commons to create TTRPG content that's been so great for everyone, while giving us the tools to ensure the game continues to become ever more inclusive and welcoming. Okay, so now for the actual document. Wonderful, I will be looking over that. We're very interested to read your thoughts. Our team does a great job compiling all the playtest feedback for us in a comprehensible way to reflect and act on. So I'm confident they'll do the same here. After you've read the new SRD 5.1 introduction, OGL 1.2, and VTT policy, blah 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 blah. Okay, so overall, I'm hopeful. This seems like a step in the right direction. They address a lot, if not all, of the big concerns that the community had right here. I don't necessarily see anything that stands out as too alarming myself, other than the rules thing for Creative Commons. But publishing under Creative Commons just means that they can never change it anyway. So I'm fine with it either way. They say there's no royalty payments, no financial reporting, no license back, none of this, which is really good because that was one of the big concerns. And I mean, this still lets them publish all of their content. They can contact creators still to talk to you about publishing some of your content or using some of your content in their official works, with giving you a little bit of money, likely in return, which is what should be done anyways. Um, yeah, as far as I can tell, this seems like a step in the right direction. Um, Kyle, thank you for being the one to, I guess, bear this. Although I don't necessarily know if you had much of a choice in it. And yeah, overall, it seems like they're listening. So I'm hopeful. We'll see. Until next time, I've been the DM. Thank you for coming into my corner. We'll see you next time.